Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother.
Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, Film Fam, and welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name's Dion.
My name's Scott.
And today we're talking about the 1997 Quentin Tarantino classic, Jackie Brown. To start off, we're just going to give our general thoughts. We're going to get into our family meeting, which is where we get our responses from our listeners. And then we're going to get into our deep dive. And to close the show, we're going to get into our Filmmies Awards. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. With that being said, though, Scott, I think it's time to get into our general thoughts.
General thoughts?
General thoughts.
This movie was awesome. I think it's classic Tarantino filmmaking. It's got great characters. It's got fun music. That's a big staple of his. And you just never know what's coming next. Like, he's so good at writing these scenarios where anything can happen. And it's such a fun ride every time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's like, to me, I think it's one of his underrated movies, and I never understood why too, but I understand the context of it. It came out right after Pulp Fiction. It's like his first movie after Pulp Fiction, so like I'd understand why people like that grew up in that time would be like, oh, like I'm expecting to see another Pulp Fiction, and then you don't get exactly like this because this movie doesn't feel like Pulp Fiction, nor should it. Like it should be a different film, but sometimes I feel like people, when they really enjoy a movie, like I want to experience that same thing again, and then they go see this movie, and it's pretty different, honestly. For them, like it feels like a Tarantino movie, but it's not Pulp Fiction. But I'm curious, what's your point? I'm curious to hear.
Well, I have a take on why this movie has less mainstream success than Pulp Fiction, because you're right that like they're not the same movie, and they shouldn't be, like you said. But
yeah, I
think they are both equally good at. Like, his writing is very good. The characters are still really good. I think the editing is a little bit different. You know, like the Pulp. What was so cool? Well, one of the things that was so cool about Pulp Fiction was like the way he told the story, like with different timelines and different. Like, we're on this character in this side of the story with his journey, and then we're on this side of the story with Travolta and Samuel L. And we got Bruce Willis over here, and then like they're totally separate, and then they kind of converge, and like the whole some things are being told backwards, and like all that stuff is super interesting. And this movie doesn't really do that, so I think that's a piece that elevates Pulp Fiction. But I think that like the scenario, the story, the characters, all that is just as good in this movie as it is in Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, for sure, and it's hilarious too. I think it's just as funny as Pulp Fiction. You got Samuel L. Jackson again being hilarious. It's great. I really enjoy it, and like you said, interesting characters, interesting dialogue. Like, it's a classic Tarantino staple.
Yeah, and converging characters, I feel like is a big thing of his. Like, we saw it in The Hateful Eight, we saw it in Pulp Fiction. We saw it in even Reservoir Dogs. Like, there's just he has all these characters doing their separate things and different reasons for them to be there, and then they all come together at the end, and you're just like, what the hell is going to happen? I have no idea. But I'm so
true.
excited.
And even in Glorious Bastards too, a movie we did, those characters come together. Like, we see them in different areas. It's like, and then we all see them come together. So yeah, it's like there's no wasted characters. Like, if they get any kind of screen time where they're talking, they're involved in some way.
Yeah, there's a reason they're in there, 100%.
Exactly. But I'm curious to hear. Let's get into our family meeting. Let's hear from the family.
Let's do it.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Hey, welcome, film family, to the family meeting, where we ask for your thoughts on the movie. And on our Instagram story this week, I asked, where does this rank among Tarantino movies? Because I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this, so your thoughts. But like we talked about, this is just doesn't have the mainstream success that a lot of his movies have. And I asked this question even before seeing it, but I was curious to hear. And I think kind of conscious of that is the way the response was, because we only got a couple votes on the question, but they all said one of his best. So the people that have seen it really like it, and the people that haven't seen it, I assume, are the ones who didn't vote on the question, which makes sense. But again, this just means less people have seen this movie, and it just doesn't have that mainstream success. But where do you think is this one of his best movies? Where would you rank this?
I do. I think it is up there. I think it's tough because he's got a lot of. He's got a great filmography. Yeah, it is a high bar, and it's tough too because I'd almost have to go back. Like I think Inglourious Bastards might be like it's between, like, you would take Pulp because it's what sparked off, and like I think that's the first Tarantino movie I saw. It's that, Kill Bill, and Inglourious Bastards really have such a high bar for me. But after that, like I don't think it's that far off. Like I enjoy, like my enjoyment level when I watch this or like Hateful Eight or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's like it's the same enjoyment. And it's tough to rank past that. Those other three I said because to me I think those like really great. Django is up there too, but it's just tough. It's tough to rank. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's why I don't even want to ask a specific number.
Yeah,
maybe we'll do that one day, like as an episode. Like we'll talk about all of his movies and come up with a ranking, and that'll be difficult because, like you said, they're just the bar is so high, and like ranking one low doesn't mean it's bad.
Exactly, right?
Just because the good ones are so great, and there's just so many of them. But I could see this being one of his best for sure. I could also see someone ranking it a little bit lower just because of I don't know. I think budget and the time it was made, that takes a little bit away from it. Like Django had way more money and it was more new, so it just looked a little more fun. Like there was more exciting camera angles and it just looks better, more fun in that sense.
No, for sure.
But like this movie's great. This movie, he makes so many great movies. Like it's so hard to. It's so hard to rank. I'm excited. We got to do that one day. That's gonna be fun.
For sure. You know what I think we benefit from the way we viewed it, because like at first thing, like I have this book behind me. It says it's the Quentin Tarantino, The Cinema of Cool. I found that book at a thrift store and I started reading it. And at that point, I'd only seen like a couple of his movies. This is kind of like got me into like the deep dive of like being a big movie fan. And as I was reading it, he kind of talks about all the movies that he's done. I was like, oh, well, I can't read him talk, like I can't hear him talk about these movies I haven't seen yet. So as I was reading the book, I'd stop, watch a movie, keep reading, watch a movie. And I watched Jackie Brown. I was like, oh, this movie's awesome. Like I never hear anybody talk about this. I hear about the Kill Bills, the Django, obviously, because like I saw that in theaters because we were in high school when that came out, or maybe just outside of high school. I can't remember the year it came out. But I think I didn't realize until later that it came out after Pulp Fiction. So I understand that context of like, oh, okay, that's maybe why people don't like it as much, because it's just like such a high bar of like, okay, like that movie was insane. What's now? And then like nothing will really ever live up to when you have such high expectations for a movie. And I don't know what any movie, like I think any movie that he after Pulp Fiction could have fallen in that category where it's just like, it wasn't good as, because Pulp Fiction just took the world by storm. Yeah. So it's just tough to come off that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say is not only is like Pulp Fiction is a great movie, but it's also like it's got a cult following. So it's also all the aura around it. Everyone who talks about it, and it's so highly regarded that when people watch it, they almost like have to like it. Like it's one of those ones you can't say Pulp Fiction's a bad movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like all this buzz around it and all this hype around it, like just it all compounds and just makes it more like a bigger than it even is. Yeah. So like when Jackie Brown comes, and it's a great movie, but it doesn't have all that extra stuff, then it just falls through the cracks because everyone's like, yeah, Jackie Brown was good, but have you seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, no, 100%. You know what I think is like another good example is that after Get Out, with people how they felt about Us, there was a lot of awesome. Awesome was, but a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people try to make the comparison because a lot of people, when I asked them, they're like, I liked it. It wasn't as good as Get Out, though. I'm like, why do you even have to? Why do you feel like you need to say that? Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a lot of time what people say. They're like, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't as good as Get Out. But I'm like, it's its own movie. You don't have to do that. And Ryan Coogler's gonna have to experience that with Sinners. His next movie after Sinners is gonna get compared to Sinners. Yeah, he's got to make another spectacle movie basically for people not to.
But again, that's kind of the same thing, is that like it got all of this hype like on around it. Everybody was like, man, Sinners is great. You got to go watch this stuff. Like there's so much intentional messaging in the movie, and all of that's true. Like it is a great movie. I'm not taking anything away from it, but like when the general public and now with social media gets a hold of it and just like pumps it up bigger and bigger and bigger, it becomes bigger than the movie itself.
Yeah.
And it's like an event, and like everyone, you have to see it because everyone's talking about it. Same thing with, that's what Pulp Fiction was.
Yeah.
Is what Sinners is. And you're right. Like whatever Coogler does next, it's weird. Like I feel like Nolan doesn't get that. He's one of those big directors that comes out with movies, and his movies are a spectacle, but like,
well, people don't like the, I know people, I remember I still hear people's reaction and I get surprised because I think the whole trilogy is great, but a lot of people I hear the same thing. They're like, oh, I liked the trilogy, but like the third one with Bane's not as good as Dark Knight. I never compared it. Yeah, I never compared it. I thought they were all great as we were kids. I watched it and then when the Bane one came out, I was like, oh, Bane's awesome. The mask, the voice, it's cool. I watched it and I loved it. I never thought like it wasn't as good as Dark Knight though. I just was just in the moment. It probably helped because we were teenagers, but like I never looked at it that way. But if you look online, a lot of people say like, oh, it's low, or but it's just like, I don't know.
I guess the one thing I will say is, again, the power of expectations.
Yeah.
I talked about this in like last episode when we were talking about Fantastic Four. I came in with low expectations because MCU's been garbage, and the movie was good. So I was pleasantly surprised. Whereas like you go in with high expectations, and even if the movie's good, you're just gonna I don't know, if it doesn't live up to those expectations, then you're gonna think of it worse than what it actually is, and that's probably what happened with Jackie Brown.
Yeah,
but I will say at the same time, we say that it's people don't like it as much, but I looked it up and it still has like 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's still got like I think it's 3.9 on Letterboxd. Like people still highly like, the people that have seen this movie like this movie. It's just that less people have seen this movie, and that just doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, no, it's like I'm gonna have to talk to like my dad and like Caddy and I, because I don't know if they saw them like when they came out, because just to ask them what the buzz was like do people feeling Jackie Brown? Like maybe it's my dad would be skewed because he's black, so it's just like we were messing with that. I was like, okay, well, I don't know what everyone else was saying. Everyone was like, it's like, because that was why I went with it. I was like, people are not feeling it's like a black movie kind of thing, but it's not really like a black movie. I feel like it's not wrapped in this thing where it's like, oh, if you're not black, you just wouldn't get it kind of thing. It's not that at all. So I just why I was confused by its lack of buzz for his in the ranking of his catalog. But it's just, he's such a great catalog. It's just tough.
And I mean, not even just looking back at his catalog, but I'm looking something that might be help us kind of understand what it was like at the times is box office, right? Because that would have been when it came out. And I'm looking at it right now, and Pulp Fiction made $213 million at the box office off an $8 million budget, which is insane.
Damn, that is insane.
Absolutely insane. So it made a ton of money. Jackie Brown, that came out 3 years later, his next movie. So everyone's talking about this. Quentin Tarantino, he made Pulp Fiction. Everybody loved it. Everyone went and saw it.
Yeah.
$74 million at the box office. So that buzz just didn't carry over. I don't know.
I think a lot of things come into play, and I don't know if we necessarily want to get into all that now. But what else? I know it came out, it was a Christmas Day release. What else came out? You know what I mean? True. What took over it? You know what I mean? Like, if a Home Alone comes out when your movie comes out, sorry, no one's going to see your movie. You know what I mean? The Home Alone didn't come out that year, but if that kind of thing happens, because it's just another movie probably just took over in 1997, maybe around that time. You're about to look it up?
Yeah, I'm about to look it up. 1997.
What, December releases?
Christmas movie
or
releases.
Just December. Just December,
I don't know why
I
I
guess.
said Christmas.
Because I don't know how many other movies dropped on Christmas, but it would have been around that time, late November, December. I don't know.
All right. According to Google, I have a quick search. Tomorrow Never Dies, Home Alone 3. Wow, that's ironic. You were just saying that.
Yeah, it is. Right.
Scream 2, Good Will Hunting came out.
It's both Miramax. They double dipped with their own movies. That's kind of crazy.
2 bangers. Yeah, that's true. I'm not seeing anything like
crazy.
That
crazy. I mean, Good Will Hunting is a pretty big movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people were more likely wanted to jump to see that versus Jackie Brown. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can look on the internet, but I guess we'll.
Oh, Tomorrow Never Dies is a 007 movie. Maybe it got buried by James Bond.
Maybe. I feel like, yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot of context that goes into it, and there's probably a lot of factors that went into it. But it's not like it bombed. It's not bomb. It
No,
didn't bomb, and it wasn't a
it made
bad
money.
movie. So yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, James Bond made 339 million.
ooh, okay,
Yeah, maybe he got
that
buried
did.
by Bond.
Yeah, maybe that
Damn.
is the case. Especially because it's kind of
Unfortunate.
actiony, and that's an actiony kind of movie. People maybe like, I don't want to see both of them. I don't know. We
I
can
don't know.
speculate. We can speculate.
Okay, so next in the family meeting, we got my boy Mac.
Okay.
He said he liked how each character had their own music. I was talking about how the music is great, and that's a staple for Tarantino.
Yeah.
Especially as they all converge at the final handoff, and then again with Max and Ordell on the last drive to his office. So like, I didn't notice this, that like each character, I don't like. Okay, I shouldn't say I didn't notice this. I mean, I didn't notice if it was like a specific song, like
Yeah.
each character had their own song and they played different parts of it, or if it was just the vibe. Because what I remember is like the vibe of each character's music kind of had continuity throughout the movie, and it kind of fit the character themselves. Like I feel like Jackie's was like kind of almost 007-y, like cool, calculated,
Yeah.
like smart. Ordell's music was more like a little wild and spunky and all over the place. Like I don't know, it totally fits the characters, and it's a good point.
No, that is a good point. I didn't really think about it that way. Like I noticed the music playing, but I never really thought about how like intentional it was. And obviously it is, because Tarantino is like a maniac. Like
Yeah,
everything, like no poster on the wall, no shoe that's being worn. Is just without his direction on top of it. Be like, no, it's gotta be like this. It's gotta be like that. Like he's gotta eat and sleep, breathe, movies, everything. Like it's
yeah,
his whole thing. But
100%.
no, it's interesting. Shout out Mac, you said, right?
Mac, yeah. Another point that he had that was that he noticed the casting director is named Jackie Brown.
Oh, really?
Jaki Brown.
Oh,
so the
snap.
spelling's a little bit different, but like,
yeah,
that is like, is that just a coincidence?
I assume so,
because the movie's based off a book.
Yeah.
So the characters, actually, I read that he changed the character's name because he changed the lead character from white to black.
Yeah.
So I think.
But the Jackie Brown name is more for like a Foxy Brown kind of tribute.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe the Jackie part, because he could have put any name. Didn't have to be Jackie. So maybe that was a nod to his casting director. I don't know.
But the Jackie was the name of the character in the book. The first name, he changed the last name.
Oh, okay, I actually didn't know that. Okay. So then I guess that definitely was intentional, grabbing it from the book then. Okay, I didn't realize that.
But that's just funny. That the
no, that is funny. I didn't even catch that. That was funny. Shout out Mac.
Yeah, respect to you, Mac. We also got on Instagram Big Dog Samra.
Okay.
Big dog. He says, fantastic film. The story is perfect. Probably one of the best heist movies ever made.
Ooh, it is a good heist movie. And it's funny because like people don't talk. I mean, we're the champion. We're championing this movie, but yeah, I feel like people don't talk about this as great heist movie. Obviously, Oceans is as one of the pinnacles, and there's like The Town, and I know I'm missing a bunch out the top of my head, but I feel like people don't talk about this movie as being a good heist. Yeah, Heat.
I think people don't talk about it as much as a heist movie because it's not a traditional heist movie in the sense like we don't see them steal the money.
That is true.
In theory, they don't steal money. He's selling weapons, right?
Yeah,
so he's not.
True.
It's not really a heist in that sense. It's more like how do we get this money back? But it still belongs to him. It's not like theft. Like it's just a different scenario. You know what I mean? It's not a traditional heist.
Yeah, like I don't know what the definition exactly of a heist is because it feels more like is a double turn kind of a heist. Like if I just steal. Like I don't know if a heist, because when I'm thinking heist, I'm most always thinking banks or like casino, obviously because of Oceans. But like if I'm just stealing money from a guy, is that a heist?
Yeah. Let's Google the definition.
Do you need how many people need to be involved for it to be a heist? Like if it's just me, am I pulling off a heist? If it's just me stealing Scott's Iverson jersey or something, I don't know.
I Googled heist definition and it just says a robbery.
Okay, so just any robbery. I thought you were gonna say like I looked it up and it just says Ocean's 11. What is a heist? Ocean's 11. All right.
Watch that movie, then you'll know what a heist is.
Yeah.
So I guess it is a heist then, because
Okay.
but it's not. It's
Yeah.
not a heist in the sense of like all of them trying to steal money from, like you said, a bank or a casino or something. But it's like all of them trying to steal from Ordell because it's his money, right? And they're all trying to get it.
No, 100%.
So it's a heist for everyone but him.
That's true. Yeah. No, you're right. Him is just him trying to secure his money. His money. That's
Like,
it.
I'm just trying to get my own money, man. Damn.
He's trying to do a bank transfer. That's it. Really.
Exactly. Trying to get his money from Cabo to LA.
Exactly. That's all he's trying to do.
Yeah. Well, that does it for the family meeting.
That is it for the family meeting. All right. Thank you.
Adjourned.
That meeting adjourned. Thank you. Who was the first one again?
Mac and Big Dog.
Mac and Big Dog.
Big Dog?
Big Dog. All right.
Big Dog Samra.
I don't know if you like. I don't know, because when I first watched this movie, like I didn't know too much. Like the first time I watched it, about like Blaxploitation films. Like, were you familiar of like that era?
Not really, but I kind of read about it when I was looking up the movie, and Tarantino said it's not one of those. But tell me.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, it's not. It's definitely. Well, I wouldn't say it's definitely not one of those, but it's. Watch out. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't, because when I was looking it up, like I saw that these films, like they featured a black protagonist. It's street stories, funk and soul soundtrack, and it's rooted in black urban life. So I mean, it kind of is like that, but maybe he didn't want to say it's that because it's a white guy telling kind of like a black story. So he didn't want to be like, I'm doing like a black film, because it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. If anything, I'm trying to imitate or I'm paying tribute to it. And then obviously he's getting Pam in here, who was like a big part of it. And when I was looking it up, it was a short run, the era, because it only went from 1971 to 1976. And a lot of those, it was just like a new wave of like, this is post like Martin Luther King just died and everything. So like black people, there were these films came out and like they popped. Like, have you ever heard of like Shaft or like Superfly, like those kind of movies? Like, it's like that classic kind of character, it's like that pimp, like that cool pimp. That's like, it's kind of like a bad at the same time, like doing all this stuff, like going after the man, like all that kind of stuff. It was like that kind of like classic like 70s vibe. And it was a controversial thing because at the end of the day, it's like these guys were looked at as like almost like superhero and cool, but they were like pimps and gangsters and like, so there was a lot of pushback within the own within the black community. Like people were loving them, but also people were like, this is a bad representation because it's making it seem like this is what a black man is and all that stuff. So like the movies are fun. Like I've actually seen a couple of them, and like one guy that really popped off on was a guy named Dolomite. And there was a movie that came out in 2019 that I watched with my dad. Eddie Murphy played him, and his Dolomite Is My Name. And it was just about, the movie is about the person Dolomite trying to make the Dolomite film. So it's just like that journey of him. And it's a funny movie, but it's just an interesting time period because it was a time period I wasn't too familiar with. And obviously, because like we were way not born yet. Yeah, this is like talking about 1970s. We were way not born yet. My dad wasn't even born during it. My dad was born in 1976. That's when the era stopped. So I mean, obviously, he probably went back and maybe saw some of those stuff, some of those things. But Black Dynamite too, like they're fun. I think it'd be fun to do one of those movies. Like it's just like a fun movie, and like there is some context there of like there's like those like interpersonal stories that make it interesting, but for the most part it's kind of like an action, like gangster kind of movies, which I think it'd be fun to do, whichever one we pick. I think it'd be fun watch to do. But no, I thought it's interesting because I wasn't familiar with that. Going back and seeing Pam was in a movie called Coffee, Sheba Baby, and then obviously Foxy Brown, which makes the perfect parallel to this movie being Jackie Brown, which it was cool going on that little deep dive of kind of hearing what the just like the film history of just that era and how short it was.
I think it's like it's not like those movies never come out anymore. Like I feel like what separates this one from kind of that archetype, that story archetype, is I feel like a lot of those are kind of like rags to riches type story. And like this one, in theory, you could argue is a rags to riches. You know, Jackie starts out as this, not seamstress, but stewardess that is at the bottom of the food chain. She talks about I have no money and no benefits. Like this stuff sucks. And then she ends up with all the money. So it is a rags to riches, but the story isn't about her fighting adversity to get there, to this point. It's just about all the chaos of all of these characters and how she outsmarts everybody. So I don't know. I feel like that is kind of a separator from the genre, I guess, and maybe that's Tarantino's argument, because, like I said, I read that he said like he's arguing that this isn't one of those type of stories. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it is, and I think he. Again, like I said earlier, I think he purposely, it's almost like in a respectful way where he's like, I'm not going to say I'm making these type of films because like the era is like, it's kind of past and I'm just paying tribute to that era. You know what I mean? It's like anybody like, which is interesting how like, I kind of find it interesting when you go back and you see these eras, like we're already out of it, even though they're still making movies, like the superhero era is over. You know what I mean? Like 2008 to when Endgame happened, that was the superhero era. And they're still trying to make them because they're trying to make their bucks. In the 80s, from like I don't know which years, but the gangster movies when those were popular, when you're getting De Niro and what's it called, Al Pacino, exactly, and all those movies, that was hot. Everyone's like, oh, gangster movie, let's watch another gangster movie. Now, like they don't really make that many gangster movies anymore. Like Departed, that was like probably one of the later ones. But like they're just like, there was a gangster movie with De Niro where he's playing a twin, and that movie made like $0 because like people like we're kind of past that. We don't really want to see that anymore. There's like the 2000s was like, without lack of a better term, gore porn. That's like when Saw and Hostel, like all those kind of movies. Like there's these eras in the 30s. They're making like a bunch of like Frankenstein movies and like all like the like Mummy, Vampire, and that's actually kind of coming back because now we're getting another Frankenstein movie. We got Poor Things, like, and we got Nosferatu last year.
Sinners.
So like Sinners, yeah, exactly. These things always kind of come back, but I like. The superhero movies are gonna keep coming out, but it's not what it was. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
there's these eras when like certain movies are just at the top of the top. It's like, this is what we want to see. Oh, another good one is when Star Trek and Star Wars was coming out around the same time. Everyone just wants to see space movies. And I remember when what's it called? I'm not going on a tangent here, but still trying to keep it in, talking about the eras of movies. But when Ridley Scott was like, I'm talking to the studio, like, oh, can you make like a movie about like aliens or space or something like that? And that's why he made Alien, because the studios were like, everyone loves like these space movies. So then he made Alien. It's just like people want to see like when the movies are hot, it's like boom. Right now, Dune is kind of bringing the space stuff back, and Star Wars is like, oh, let's make because they've waited a while. Like, all right, let's make another Star Wars movie. People want to see space stuff again. It's just like, these things come in ways of people wanting to see certain things.
I think the macho action star, that was an era too. You know, like the Stallone, Schwarzenegger, 100%. And then you could even talk about like the Tom Cruise kind of action star. Like that was a whole era as well. Like the whole. I think dramas had a time too. Like when Tom Hanks was at his peak, like he was.
Oh yeah.
Much more of a dramatic actor. So like I think. Him and Denzel, like those type of movies had a time when Fences came out and we were getting, you know, all these more dramatic type of stories.
Yeah.
But what's next? Do you think it's going to be the monsters? It's like,
I don't know. We are kind of going in like a horror movie renaissance, to be honest. Like I think studios also realize you can go lower budget, make a lot of money, and the superhero movies, these 200, 300, 400 million dollar budgets are just ridiculous. It's so hard to get a comeback on it versus like, let's make a $10 million horror movie and then it makes 200 million. Holy crap, look how much money we just made. Versus the 200 million would have been our budget for a action movie. It's just like ridiculous.
And we would have lost money if that's all we got.
Exactly, right? So
But you said, it was kind of like Marvel was on the upswing, like just making billion-dollar movies left, right, and center, just printing money.
Exactly.
And they're not willing to just let that go. They're not just going to stop.
As you wouldn't. No, you definitely
of course
wouldn't.
not. So like they're going to keep making these big budget movies, and like people still show up. Like, you know, some of them are still making money. And
we're not touching billions anymore, though.
No, but I don't think it's impossible that it'll happen ever again. Like even Deadpool and Wolverine, that came out last year and it still made $1 billion.
I feel like Deadpool was different just because it was a different kind of movie. Like I feel like they were really locked into a specific formula of like, this is how we make superhero movies, and that Deadpool doesn't fit into that formula.
True.
Like that was just like that was an anomaly of the kind of movies that they were making.
Good point.
But to bring it back to your point about Tarantino saying why this movie is different, I think a big thing that sets this movie apart is that Jackie wasn't like a prostitute or a gangster. And that's what kind of like the black toys, and not even like shitting on those movies, but that's sometimes what those struggling characters would be. They'd be struggling characters, but like in like a really bad professional spot. She was just a flight, like a flight attendant, right?
Yeah.
So like a stewardess. So it wasn't like she was just a struggling stewardess, and sure she was doing street stuff and involved in street stuff, but like she wasn't street.
Right.
It wasn't like she was also like passing the money for him and then also selling drugs on the side or like you know what I mean? Anything crazy like that.
Yeah.
So I think that also why it kind of sets it apart with that.
Yeah, that whole like the Blaxploitation is like almost, you know, the white community loves it. Like, look at this struggling brother and look how they fought adversity. And yeah, we love to see it. It's a feel good story. And then as soon as the movie's over, we don't have to think about it ever again, kind of thing. Because this is a real, this is a reality. But this is just a movie, so we can be happy about it. So yeah, again, not shitting on those movies. It's just kind of like,
no,
there's pros and cons, I guess, to stuff. But that's one thing that I don't like that much about that kind of movie. But again, like you said, this movie isn't that.
No, exactly. I understand the perspective too of just like you just think back to that time of just like trying to bring some like power and some kind of like trying to bring some like some hope or even just some pushback to being like, no, you can't take on the man. But I think it's just idolizing these specific figures was just like the bad idea of like a pimp and a prostitute. Like these are our heroes,
right?
Because then it's just like, well, that then people like are just dumb or like kids think like, oh, this is what black people are, right? They're all just like rappers and basketball players and prostitutes.
Exactly.
And just, like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, they're more than that. You don't have to be those things to flourish. But yeah, no, I think we should do one of those because then we can talk about this and talk about how, if we think this movie is too wild or if it's like, no, this is actually a pretty. So I think it'd be interesting. But you talked about the style of this movie too. And like obviously a lower budget. What do you think of just like how the intro was done? Because I even had like a point on just the intro,
like Jackie walking through the airport.
Yeah,
I think it's again, this is like the music is just so front and center. I think it's it's obviously super intentional. I mean, you talk about how like everything is intentional in a Tarantino movie, but like the music choice and how he uses it is just so unique and so present in the movie that I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from her walking through the airport. It's just the music going, and I'm like, okay, this is our character. I don't know anything about who she is or what's gonna happen in this movie. You're giving me the credits, you know. Yeah, you got to do it's a movie thing. I'm down for it. But just the tone of the music, it just immediately sets like the feel of the movie that he's going for, and it's always upbeat and like it's always like jazzy and rock, like that's just the kind of stuff that he likes. And but again, it just kind of immediately I'm like, okay, I'm in a Tarantino movie.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Just even the way like just the font looks in the title card, it just feels very vintage. And it's funny because like it kind of feels like, as again he's saying it's not that, it feels like 70s kind of, even though I think it's supposed to be in present day time. Like I think it's supposed to be. I don't think they actually ever date the movie. But I think it's supposed to be the 90s. It's not supposed to be like they're supposed to be living in the 70s. They don't date it.
They say like where stuff is. They say like we're in LA or Compton or they say where, but I don't think they don't say when.
Yeah, I don't think they say when. But yeah, it has that the interesting feel of like it feels like it's 70s because the music and then obviously the font and like the style he's playing around with, but like no one really like there's no like tech thing also too that I can reference. Like, I don't know what tech exactly was in 1997 that would have been like, oh, no, it's definitely 1997. He's got that thing. You know what I mean? Like, he's playing records, but records went for a while.
True, actually. That was one thing that could maybe
date
it is, and this actually ties into one of my points, but it's when Max tells Jackie, then they're talking about she's playing the record.
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, what? You're not on the new CD wave? Like, yeah, everyone's listening to CDs. You're not doing that?
Which is so funny to hear.
I know, eh?
You know what? The funny thing is it's the reverse, because now I bet you more people buy records than CDs nowadays, because records 100%. Have come back.
Yeah, because having a record player is cool. Having a Walkman is not cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what the point? And like you could have a cool stereo system, but now those just like connect to your phone.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you don't actually need the CD. As long as you have Spotify or like Apple Music, like it will connect to your system. You're good. Yeah, the new CD
Yeah, you're not
wave.
doing
Just
new CDs. Everyone's got it. And I liked her reasoning. You know, she's like, I'm too deep invested. I got all these
yeah.
records. Like I can't change now.
No,
Makes sense.
100%.
And like
No, it
what
does.
I think is so cool about that being in the movie, because I mean maybe he did intentionally put it in there to date the movie. But again, if that's just kind of what was happening at that time, like you said, like we were born in '96, so like this movie came out, we didn't know what the hell was going on, right? So like,
Yeah.
is this when the CD wave kind of started? I'm guessing so. I didn't look into that, but to me, I think that stuff in the movie, like it doesn't push plot forward at all. It doesn't really even tell us anything about these characters. I guess it kind of builds the relationship, just having them have this back and forth. But I think this is the kind of thing that Tarantino's so great at putting into his scripts, is that the dialogue is there to ground the movie, to make it feel like these are real people, in a sense where like, you know, you're in a scenario where you're talking to this person about how she's going to help smuggle drugs and, you know, two-time the cops and Ordell and everything. That's very much like a movie thing. Like that's very much a scenario that isn't very real life. I'm not saying it never happens. Like I'm sure there's shady stuff going on in our, but like normal people don't go through this stuff. And this is something that like, this is just a normal part of a conversation where if someone starts playing a record, you're like, oh, you're not getting CDs, you know, like it just really grounds it. I had that as an example. I had also in the same scene when she's like, oh, the milk went bad when I went to prison, so you'll have to have black coffee. Like, does that need to be in there? Exactly. No, it's just a real thing that makes it feel like we're in a real situation. These are real people. And my last example was Ordell talking to Lewis about him hooking up with Melanie, when he's just like, yeah, that's Melanie, that's the girl. I know I can't trust her, and that's just the way it is. Like, I don't care. You were in jail for a while. You needed to get some get with a girl, and that's just the way it is. Like, it's just two guys like at a bar talking about a girl. That's so real.
Yeah, and that scene killed me too, because he's like, but you still slept there anyway, didn't you? Even though you did. He's just like, know. Well, yeah. He's like, you
didn't know she wasn't my girl.
He's like, yeah, it's like, but what do you felt bad?
Yeah, exactly. That's stuff, yeah, that whole stuff like that. It's just two guys having fun at a bar. That's like, this is perfect. Yeah,
well, I think you kind of contradicted yourself, because you said that it doesn't really do much for the characters, but then you said it helps ground them. No, but just the whole thing of like when these Tarantino conversations happen between characters, it grounds them. So I feel like that does something. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily do something for the plot, but it is something for the characters, because now it puts them in real life, and it's like, oh, this person's living.
I guess what I meant when I said it doesn't do something for the characters is it doesn't really tell us. It doesn't tell us anything about their motivations or their feelings in a situation, or you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't develop their character, but it grounds their character. So you're right. I guess it still does something for the character, but it's less in a development sense and more in just like a grounding sense. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you mean more of a development in the sense of like for the story.
Yeah, for the world more than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's just what's world building.
World building.
It's what it is. Because like you said, we couldn't date it until that. So that it actually does. It is pretty relevant to the time. There's definitely other things too. Like we're talking about cassettes and stuff like that in there too. So you can kind of, but that's a large range. Like when were cassettes popular kind of thing. But no, but him talking about specifically the CD wave at least gives you like a frame of like when did those start to get hot?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And I mean, that's what's so crazy too about how good his writing is the fact that like these are throwaway lines in any other movie. These are literally just throwaway lines. But the fact that he uses these to achieve something, and we can go on, we've been talking for a couple minutes now just on throwaway lines, because the way he tells us stuff without saying it and just like works it into the dialogue, and we learn things about characters through genuine conversation is incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And to add on to that, another relationship, just Beaumont and Ordell. Like, I'm curious what you thought about that whole scene, because that was a lot. Like, I don't know if were you shocked by how it ended, or would you kind of see where it was going?
That's a good question. I think it was interesting Like as soon as he opened the trunk, he's like, "Get in the trunk, or we're gonna do this thing." I was like, "Ooh, that's not good. This is this is a little shady." You know, I mean, they're doing shady stuff anyways. When he goes to see him and he's like, "Okay, I need your help. I'm gonna go see these guys, and we're gonna sell the guns. And I never do business with anybody I don't know without backup." I'm like, "Okay, this makes total sense. I'm with you. Yeah, sure." And then when he told him to get in the trunk, I was like, that gave me a little bit of pause. But I didn't expect this long shot of him starting to drive away. The crane lifts up over the fence, and he just goes around into this park. And I was like, wait a second. Opens it, pops him. That was one question too. I'm like, if you're gonna do that, why did you even drive around into the park?
Yeah,
but
no, it's
I just you never know what's gonna happen next in a Tarantino movie. I did not know what was gonna happen next.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's to me. I remember when I first watched it, it shocked me. To add to your points that you were saying, it's the build up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's the argument not only about like before that even talks about like, don't worry, I got you. I got a lawyer. Like going into that, I'm like, okay, he's got a lawyer for me, wants to help him. Hey, I spent $10,000. You got to help me. So I'm thinking, okay, now, especially because it's Chris Tucker too.
Right.
So I'm assuming, okay, Chris Tucker, we want to keep him around. You know what I mean? Like Friday just came out a couple years ago. Like this guy's almost at the peak of his power. I don't think Rush Hour I think was about to come out next year or 2 years later. Like this guy was about to enter really his peak of his powers, and I was like, okay, he's gonna be along with it. Like you said, getting in the trunk, then you're kind of like, oh, it's looking bad. But then they have the argument about the trunk, so then it becomes like this funny thing where you're like, okay, these guys are there's some banter here. They're kind of messing around with each other. So I was like, okay, he's not gonna. There's going to be some pushback here, and maybe that now Chris Tucker's character is going to be involved, and he's going to have to do something to gain his trust back. So that's where my mind, I remember going the first time. I was like, okay, he's got a guy, he's going to get his trust back, and then he just pops him. I'm like, okay, well, I guess there's no way of getting his trust back.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing that was going through my head first, I was like, okay, he's just spent $10,000 to bail this guy out of jail. There's no way he's going to kill him. What would be the point of that?
Yeah, that too.
I was like,
no, exactly.
why would he do that? And then, I mean, it makes total sense when he says afterwards, when he's talking to Lewis, he's like, he got in jail and he's going to do anything to stay out. So he's going to tell on me, and I can't have that. So
yeah, it's either him or me.
Exactly. So like, that just makes total sense. But like in the moment, I'm like, why would he do this? And like Tarantino, he always makes it make sense. Like there's always crazy stuff that happens, but there's always a reason for it. And it always makes sense for if there's a character has a reason for doing something. There's like, it blows my mind, man, how good, how many of these movies he's made that like, it just, everything works. It's so good.
Yeah. I mean, it helps because he's like a writer first, right? Like he always wanted to be like he wanted to be an actor at first, but like it didn't work out. And like he's like, I think he probably would want to turn every one of his movies into a novel. I just don't think he had the time. He's done it with a couple of them, but he's just always he's a big like reader and stuff like that. He's just like always been story first. So I think that's why he's just so it's all gonna make sense. Like I'm thinking about just these characters and all this whole world and stuff first. It's got to make sense, and he takes his time too.
Right. Yeah, and
he's like one of those. Yeah.
Well, I was just saying another good thing about this whole Beaumont thing, like the fact that he kills him early, sets the tone for the rest of the movie, so that you really don't know what's going to happen because anyone can die. You know, like
exactly. It sets the stakes
exactly
early.
And I mean, this is what's so good about his writing is like he's amazing at building these scenarios. Like I said, he did it in The Hateful Eight. He did it even in Django, like when they go to Candy's property and stuff. He did it in Glorious Bastards, like you mentioned. He builds these scenarios with very volatile characters. Like Ordell can kill anybody. We've seen that. Lewis can kill anybody. Like we see like bad people that can pop off or do anything at any moment, that all have different motivations, like reasons for being there and things they're trying to accomplish. So when they all clash into each other, you have no clue what the hell is going to happen, because literally anything can happen. Anyone can kill anyone. Anyone is going to maybe double cross someone else. There could be someone hiding under the floorboards that you don't even know about. It's just, it's amazing.
No, 100%. Well, how do you feel about the cops in the whole like Jackie and cops kind of like back and forth? Like we got Michael Keaton in there.
Yeah, I mean he was cool. Like he didn't get to be that much of like a part of the story in the sense of like double crossing and stuff. Like we knew what they were doing, and why they're doing it, and they're going forward, and Jackie's playing them the whole time, and it's really good. But I mean, he does get that moment where he's like, so you lost the bag, you lost the money, you better not be doing nothing stupid. Like, what the hell have you done? But she was smart. She gave Brandy some of the marked bill, or not Brandy, what's her name? Melanie, some of the marked bills, so that it checks out on her story. You know, he's like, oh, she had the marked bills, so it makes sense that she stole it. And I don't know, but I like they were almost just there for Jackie to use and show how smart she was.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a power move to like. It could have been a random guy to be a cop. You get Beetlejuice, you get Batman to be your cop in your movie. Especially at that time, this guy literally was Beetlejuice and Batman, and you get them to be a cop in your movie. So that's definitely just like a power move of being like, look who's in the movie, and he's going to be a cop in this. He was just very much just like a good cop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like there wasn't anything to it. I never had this fear of him actually being maybe taking the money. They kind of make you think that at first, like when he's counting the money and stuff like that. But then as he's going through the process, he's like, he's putting the points on them. He's counting them. Like, okay, this guy, he's just a good cop. We don't really get like his life. We don't see him at home or anything like that with his wife or kids. Like we just really see, he's just the cop.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Yeah. It's
which is fine.
Like I said, it totally, you're right. It's fine because those aren't really the characters that you're supposed to care about in this movie.
Exactly.
There's no interest there. Like you said, he's just a good cop. And that's
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there are good cops in the world. Again, this is real. Like there are people that are just doing their job. What's interesting is all these other psychos and how they're all turning on each other to try and get this money. That's the movie.
Yeah. 100%.
So we don't need to bother with, you know, like you're right. We could have had a scene where we have him go to his house and sees his wife, and she's like, oh, you know, did you have a good day? He's like, nah, we lost a bunch of money, and I'm sad about it. It's not working out. It's like, we don't need that.
Yeah, because the only way you do that is if like you're trying to have that dynamic of like maybe he'll steal it because his wife's like, oh man, like rent's coming up, like we're kind of struggling a bit, and then he has to like think about like, damn, should I take some money? I think that's the only way that works. True. But we didn't play with that theme, so it's like, and what's the point of me even showing his family dynamic? Because like he's not gonna take the money.
Yeah,
these guys is a good guy. He's gonna do his job well, and then that's it. So it makes sense why they didn't go deep.
That is a really good point. And like I said, this is based off a book, so I'm assuming that isn't a part of the book. So he just wanted to keep that true to
or maybe it is, but it's just you wanted to shorten it.
Maybe
because the books are long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only so much you can put in a movie.
And I mean, you always say too, like you like when if you have a bad guy, you don't have to show me like a redeeming quality. Let the bad guy be bad. And in this sense, same thing. You have a good guy. Let the good guy be good. Why do you gotta? Why do you gotta? Almost bring him down to rock bottom, like have him steal a couple, even just a couple $100. It's like, no, let the good guy be a good guy.
No, 100%. And he really was a good guy. Like the other cop was kind of a prick.
Yeah,
like,
he was an ass.
I feel like they were kind of doing at first it felt like they were doing like a good cop, better cop. Like when they first go to her, and then once they go to the office, then it definitely becomes a bad cop, good cop. Because I was like, this guy was just so rude to Jackie, and he just felt so unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a dick.
Like he literally had the one line where like they're trying to get information on Ordell, and he's like, "Listen, Miss Brown, we don't give a fuck about you." I'm just like, "Damn, that's crazy." Like, you don't gotta say all that, but I get it.
Maybe he's also there to just put Michael Keaton up on a pedestal even more, just to be like, look, this guy is good in every sense of the way. He's not. You're right. It could be a good cop, bad cop, but like he never does anything that's bad. He's just a good cop.
100%. 100%. One relationship that definitely had its depth to it was the Jackie and Max whole dynamic. There's a lot there. I don't know if you had any specific points you want to bring up first about.
Honestly,
their back and
early
forth.
on, I was like, why is he even helping her?
Mm-hmm.
Like he gets her out of jail, right? He does the bonds are out or bails her out. He's a bail bondsman. This is his job, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is why he's doing this. And then he takes her to a bar and like gives her legal advice, like, nah, they'll maybe give you 2 years. You only serve 1, and then if you take the risk, then maybe you get this. And then he comes back to her house to help her like come up with a plan. I'm like, why is he doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And then like their relationship builds, and then I'm like, okay, there's like a connection here, and this is why he's like coming back and stuff. But so I guess maybe it was like the connection was supposed to be there right off the jump, but I didn't catch.
Well, the music's playing, man. He thought he was bailing out somebody, right? And then a baddie walks through, and he was like,
true.
"Oh, Yeah, because he was starstruck from the jump. So that's what it really came down to. He's like, I figured you want to drink. As soon as that part came up, I was like, oh, he's feeling her. Because like, why the hell would he care if she needed a drink or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's trying to like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Like he's trying to be. He's like, she's already down on her luck. She's not going to turn down me at this point. So
Yeah.
I got some work.
I'm giving her a ride home, and it was amazing when he's in her apartment, and she's like, yeah, I'm down on my luck and whatever, and he's like, what are you talking? You look great. You look just like you were 26. And
in the
like,
20s. Yeah.
Well, my ass isn't the same as it used to be. He's like, what is it, a little bigger? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Anything wrong with that?
Yo, this man was spitting.
Yo, he was spitting so hard, man. That line actually I forgot about that line. That took me. I paused the movie. And I was like, oh my God, Max, that's crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Not a damn thing wrong with that, Jackie. Yeah. I'm here, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Good.
That's like that Shannon Sharp, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that?
Yeah.
That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
Oh my God. Even earlier in the movie too, you could tell he was feeling her because like when he left the voicemail, he was like, this is my phone number. This is my number at work. And you know what? Let me give you my beeper too. I'm like, yo, Max, chill a little bit. Chill a little bit. All 3 contacts is crazy.
Yeah, let me give you my MySpace. Man, because you're right. He had the game in person, but then he was getting a little desperate. You got to let it breathe.
Yeah,
Max.
chill a little bit, man. But Max is great, man. Just like there's little things too that I thought was like a cool aspect of Jackie's character, which just shows you like she's street smart, and it kind of gives you a little background of like what kind of stuff that she probably had to deal with in the past. Because when she first meets the cops, they come up to her and they're like, oh, we're with the cops. Can we check your bag? She's like, can I see ID? And then when she meets Max first time, he says like, oh, I'm a bails bond guy. Can I see? He's like, can I see ID? So she in the past, that probably means that she's probably got people come up to her and be like, oh, I'm this thing. Like, let me see your bag. I'm a cop. And it's actually just some regular, like some drug dealer or whatever it is. Like, it kind of just like without saying it shows you a little bit of what she's went through without explaining it.
Yeah.
Because she's just constantly asking for ID when people say that they're this kind of profession or job. I thought it was just a little nice touch.
And even just like what she's doing at a broader scale in the movie, like at the start of it, right? She's bringing money back from Mexico into the U.S. through this steward job.
Yeah.
And she's not getting caught. We saw Beaumont. He got caught, whatever he was doing. And then we are also juxtaposing that against Lewis, who's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So we're just like, okay, these are the guys that... Even Ordell's a moron. Like, these guys are idiots that she's all around, but she is down on her luck, and this is all she can do. So, but she's super calculated, super smart. She's taking advantage of everybody. And so it's just in the things that she does in the movie is another way of, again, not explaining like, yeah, see, I figured all this out because it was tough when I was young and I had to fight for myself. And like, she never had a moment to do that. Just let the actions of the movie take its course. And we understand that from seeing her do this stuff.
Exactly. That she's sharp and that she knows what she's doing.
Like when she
stole
the gun, I was like,
yeah,
okay, she's lit.
Yeah, 100%. And that whole scene too, of just like when Ordell comes to see her like in the dark too.
Yeah.
And like that was a cool kind of scene too. That was almost kind of like a horror movie-esque. You know what I mean? Like kept turning off the lights and stuff like that. And then like she turned it back on, then he turned it off again. And then there's the funny line, just like, what's that? It's like, I feel like you have a gun on my dick.
And like then they cut half the screen where we see Max driving, and then he goes to get the gun in the glove box, and it's not there, and we're like, oh shit, she took the gun. That was because when she's in the car, she got any cigarettes in here and sees a gun. We didn't know that she took it, but true. It's in there. So when that happens, we're like, that's when she got the gun.
That's where she got it.
It's perfect. And I mean, you're right. That scene when he turns off the light, I was getting pissed for a while. I was like, Jackie, because we know that he's going to kill her, right? Because he goes to see Beaumont, he puts the gloves on, he does all this stuff. We're like, okay, this is what he does and he bails him out, kills him. Jackie, he's about to do the same thing. He turns the light off. I'm like, Jackie, you don't know what he's about to do. Come on, come on, Jackie. He's turning the light off twice. Like, come on, Jackie. And then she pulls the gun, and I'm like, oh, she was good. She was ready.
No, she was ready for it. And that's another stylistic choice you're talking about. Like you talking about like the breaking of the like the two scenes, showing them like in a split screen. It's just like not saying like no director's ever done or anything, but it's just within this movie, it's just so unique. And it's just like it's just an interesting element. Just because you could have just done like a flash. You could just like actually just went to the other scene and then come back.
Right.
But having the little slice in the middle too, it's just like a cool stylistic choice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good point.
No, I thought it was dope. Even like another stylistic choice too. I put a point down because I thought it was cool. Is like when they're at the bar the first time, Jackie and Max, it was just like all red.
Yeah,
it was just all red bar. You know, just cool. It's just like I feel like with Tarantino, like even, and I always bring it back to anime, just because like I started realizing more of the critical eye when I'm watching anime shows. Like even like simple things, especially because it's animation. Like they make these just mundane conversations just look so cool because like why not? You know, we can put whatever in the background. Yeah. And I feel like Tarantino goes into his movies like that too. Like if we're gonna have two people sitting down talking, let's at least like make it look cool. Let's just have them just in all red. Just why not?
And another
just to add some element.
And another thing to take it even a step further is like it's not even if it is in there just because he's like I want to make this look cool. I'm gonna make the audience. I'm gonna make it make sense in the world where she has Jackie. She's like, I just got out of prison. I want to go to a dark bar, right? He's like, oh, I'll take you to this place. She's like, is it dark? No. Okay, I want to go somewhere else. Is this place dark? No. And then she's like, I got my prison hair. You know, I don't look good. So like when it looks cool, like you said, there's a reason for that. And you don't even have to do that. You could just have them in a bar that's red and people would be like, oh, it looks cool. But there's also this thing in the movie where I could point to and be like, that's why this is happening more than just it looking cool. It's just, it's insane.
100%. 100%. I don't know do you have anything else on like just specifically Jackie or Max's relationship that you thought stood out to you? Or
I mean, at the end, I guess when they like get together, when he like she comes back and they're having their conversation, she's like, oh, you know, I wish you took a little bit more money. And then they kiss, and I was just a little confused for Max. I was like, first of all, like you said, Jackie's a baddie.
Yeah,
he's into her. She has $500,000. He even said earlier in the movie, he's like, yeah, I want to quit this bail bonds and stuff. Like, I'm done with this. Like, why didn't he go with her?
Yeah.
And then he even, like, that person on the phone, he's like, oh, give me a minute. I'll call me back. And I was like, okay, does this mean you're going to go after her? And then he puts the phone down and just, like, stands there. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, like, I kind of looked at that as, like, he was, like, that was a thinking moment if he should go after her. And kind of, like, he's kind of leaving it open. Like, do you think he went after her or not? Because that's how it felt. Like, it wasn't like a definitive, like, I'm not going to go, or like, yeah, I got to go run after her. It was kind of like, I'm thinking about it. But my thought was like, did she said like when exactly she's leaving, or because like you don't have that much time, dog.
I know.
She could just be gone. Like,
because that's what,
make your decision.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, he's like, okay, you know, like give me a call back. I was like, okay, if you're gonna run after her, she just drove off. Like, are you gonna run after her? Like, maybe he was gonna get in his car and follow her to the airport or something. But that's not what happened. And like I said, he said he was gonna quit the bail bondsman. I was like, why are you not going with her, bro?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't understand. Like, I'm not mad at the ending, but part of me was just thinking, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, what are you doing, Max? Like, go get her. You know, you're one of those people screaming, go get her.
Yeah,
you already got the kiss. Like, I don't know why you're not going further with it.
And we know it's not because of her ass.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Not the issue.
That should have been his thing. You should have seen her leave and be like, yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I need that would have been great.
We talked earlier about the Pulp Fiction thing and how it had like the changing stories, and he incorporated this a little bit into the movie, which having the different POVs of the final like heist. What would you think of that?
Again, this is just it's so Tarantino. It's so good. I mean, because it's so good how he takes like this is all. There's like 40 minutes of this movie that is just different POVs of the same thing. So we see the event for the first time through Jackie's POV, and we don't know all the other stuff that's going around it. We see people here and there that pop up, but we don't know why. Well, I guess we know why they're there, but we don't know who's in on what and who's going to turn on who. And we just don't know exactly if the plan's going to work out. Like I said, I hate in a movie when we're like, okay, this is the plan, and then we show up, and then the plan happens.
Yeah.
And everything goes to shit in this plan, except for Jackie, because her plan, because she's the genius. But all the other bozos that are like, okay, we're gonna do this. We got Ordell at the strip club just calling and yelling at people, and then like when Lewis goes out to the parking lot and shoots Melanie. I was like, damn, I did not expect
I know.
it.
That's a huge shock.
Huge shock. But like, there's just the way he cuts back and forth, and then that's only like the second POV, and then we're like, okay, well, what happened with the money? And then we get Max's POV, and then this is just every single one was so interesting, and the way he goes in there to get the bag and the books that are so they have the proper weight is just every last detail is perfect.
100%. And it goes to the whole aspect of like not insulting your intelligence, because like the fact that Lewis saw Max and then later in his POV he's like, you know what, I did see Max. I'm like, yeah, that's something you would say, because it was kind of weird. Like you see the guy and he kind of just like this kind of thing and walks away. You wouldn't just bypass that. You'd be like, you know what, yeah, that was kind of weird. Like it's good that they talked about it, because otherwise you'd be like, he's not going to say anything that he saw. That like they know who this dude is. Like why would that not be weird in the situation where there's supposed to be a money exchange and someone is there and connected to the person that's doing the money exchange, and you guys, like, that's kind of weird. Like why is it such a coincidence that he's here? But you know what I mean? So I'm glad that they acknowledged it.
You're right. I'm glad they acknowledge it, but it also makes sense that in the moment he doesn't like stop and look around and be like, wait, why is he here? Like he's looking for cops or something, or he's looking for where Jackie's at, or he's like, oh, maybe there's a switch in the, because he's an idiot. He's been an idiot the whole time. He's just smoking weed and he's like, so it makes sense that he wouldn't in the moment, but afterwards when Ordell's like pressing him and he's like, oh yeah, wait, I did see that guy. Yeah, good point. And then Ordell's like, where's the gun? I need a gun. As soon as he gets the gun, I was like, okay, Lewis is cooked.
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting too with the Lewis thing, because it's such an interesting character. Like I remember the first time I watched it, it was so interesting to see De Niro like in this character, and it perfectly works to have him as that character. Not necessarily in the guy that, I mean, it's kind of funny, like with movies like Heat and other gangster movies, to think that like, oh, this is a movie where he got like, this is the end of like after he got caught from one of those movies, or kind of thing. And then you're seeing him in like, yeah, I went to jail for 4 years from like my last movie. It kind of feels like that. And I feel like Tarantino knew that going in. It's like, you're gonna get the guy that's the classic gangster to be like, this is the guy that failed it. So, and he's kind of like the older version. He's trying to like get back into things. And it's just such like a low-key character for such a big movie star, which I just feel like he played off so well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find it so interesting because he plays the idiot so well, but it's such a low-key character. You just hang out with him for majority of the movie.
Yeah, and I mean,
he's just chilling.
And I mean, that speaks to De Niro as an actor. He's amazing actor. It shows that he's not one-dimensional. Like, can he carry your movie? Absolutely, he can. Yeah. But if you want him to just be on the sidelines and, when he's in his, it's not even like he's stealing scenes. Like he's just seamlessly in them. And he plays that character so perfectly. And you're right. He's just, for most of it, he doesn't even have that many lines. He's just kind of standing there, and Melanie's talking to him the whole time, or Ordell's talking the whole time. And he's just kind of sitting there smoking weed saying, yeah, whatever. Everything's cool. And it was, that's actually a point that Mac made too, that I guess I left out of the family meeting, but he was like, it's just having him in a role where he could just be a little more like loose and fun, where he's not like, he doesn't have a ton to do. He could just, it's a fun way of using an actor like that you almost don't expect too. It's kind of like you expect him to do something at the handoff, like he's gonna turn on someone or be some big part of the puzzle because he's Robert De Niro,
Exactly.
And then it's like a flip, like, nah, he's just gonna pop off, shoot Melanie, and then die.
Yeah. And you know what the funny thing is? When the turn first happened with Melanie, I think it's just me just like thinking about him being the gangster guy. When he popped Melanie, I was like, oh snap, this whole time has been a ruse. Like he's actually been sharp the whole time. Yeah. And this was the whole plan. And like, he's going to slick back his hair, steal the money, kill Ordell. And then the whole movie is just about how Lewis just got over everybody. Like, there was a little small part of me that I was like, oh, that'd be so awesome. Not actually hoping it happened, but I'm just like, just because it's De Niro, you just want to see. Yeah, I just want to see him be a badass gangster. But that wasn't the case, which I still liked him as what he was, but there was a small part of me that was like, oh snap.
Yeah.
This guy's no loof, but he is a loof.
But again, that's the fact that you could even think that just plays to like how great the scenario is. And the fact that like you're just along for the ride when it comes to this point. Like when they're showing the different POVs and we're like, okay, this is what happened with Jackie and they stole the money. I know there's more to this.
Yeah,
what is
100%.
it? I don't know what it is, but I know there's more to this. And then we get Melanie and Lewis, and then he pops her in the parking lot. And like you said, you're like, is he in on it the whole time? Like is that out of the realm of possibility? Absolutely not.
Yeah,
that could
100%.
totally be a thing that a direction that this movie could have gone, because there's, like I said, volatile characters. Like it's not out of character that he just pops Melanie. So you have characters that anything can happen. Throw in Robert De Niro and you never know what you're gonna get.
It's so true. I think there was another element too that I thought was really good in Jackie's POV. Is just the and it's the use of the music they were talking about, and Tarantino does this so well. Of just like once she got into the dressing room and started piling the money, like an intense music started to play off. It was like a very like like a classic bank robber kind of music where it's just like, oh snap, you're on the clock, and it's just like that was going, and then it kept going, and she's obviously doing the fast walk, and then she's going, and then when she's paying for like the suit, then the camera's just spinning around her. The cashier's just doing a circle around them, and she just keeps just looking around, and the music just get higher and higher, and then she's doing the fast walk, and you don't even know where she's going. I'm like, she left the money. Like that was a big part to me too. She's like, oh, someone left a bag. I'm like, wait, what? That's your money. Like, what's going on? And then you see her fast walking. I'm like, what's the plan? I'm confused. Like, you're not taking the money. Who's gonna get it? I'm like, okay, I assume Max is gonna get it, but like, you also just told the girl to go get it, and I don't know if she's gonna grab it immediately and then might look in it, kind of thing. Right. So then, and then she's just screaming, Melanie just left, and then you get the cut, and I was like, whoa, like. I just thought that was really well done with just like the addition of the music and just like the panic from Pam Grier in that scene.
That's a really good point, actually. I think the filmmaking, like you said too, the cinematography, just the camera spinning, just like putting us in her head of anxiety. You know, like you feel like your head is spinning as this is happening because this is what the character's feeling, but it's not what the character's feeling. This is part of the plan.
Exactly.
But like she's playing it so well, and then it goes around, and then it zooms in on her face, and then it's a tight on her, for like full frame of her face as she's walking out of the place into the panic into the mall, and she's like, "Oh, Melanie has the money, everything's stolen," and then you're like, "Okay, what now?
Did something go
like,
wrong?
What now? I just have no idea what's gonna happen next.
Exactly.
I need to know. This is so fantastic. I fucking love it."
Yeah, I know it was great. Did you have any other points on the on the shot, like that whole POV action like spot? Or
no? I mean like you said, this is what he did in Pulp Fiction too, like the different timelines kind of thing, showing different stuff. And I think it's so cool that he has stuff worked into, again, the scenario, like the handoff happens. And then he just gives us a little piece, another little piece of like, okay, this is what happened. Just another little piece of this is what happened. And like, that's so cool that you could do that with the exact same thing. Like it's not like, okay, here's a piece of the plot, then we move on to the next part of the plot. It's like, no, this is what happened. Yeah. But just a part of what happened. And here's another part of what happened at the same time. And here's another part. Like, that's so cool.
No, it really is. And how did you feel about how, because I feel like most movies, you could have just ended it off of like, got the money. Like it continued the story after the actual job is done. Like I thought that was an interesting thing too, because you could have just ended with like, cool, we got the money, roll credits. But like it went further. Like then she had the talk with Michael Keaton's character. I'm forgetting his name. What was his name? The cop's name.
I have it. Where is it? His name is Ray.
Is Ray? Yeah. So Ray's like, I hope we find him before he finds you, kind of thing, right? And then we're seeing Ordell, who's like kind of panicking, but then he's just like, all right, I'm gonna find Jackie. I'm gonna get my money back. And then Max gets involved. He's like, hey, if something pops up, I'm shooting you first. If I see someone that shouldn't be there, I'm shooting you first. So then you're getting this whole other dynamic. I'm like, okay, the movie's still going here. Like we're not done. We're not going off to the sunset. So I thought that was kind of interesting too. I don't know how you felt about.
I loved
the continuation.
I loved it.
Okay,
loved it. I mean, Melanie's dead. Lewis is dead. So the only people that are left are Jackie, Max, and Ordell.
And
you can't like Jackie and Max, you're right. You could have been like, okay, they got their money, they're gonna live happily ever after, or whatever. But Ordell's still there, and you can't just leave it at that, right? So like, okay,
Nah.
what's he gonna do? There's no way he's just gonna let this happen, right? And I feel like he's the perfect. His character is so great. He's the perfect amount of dumb and smart. And he even says it. He's like, man, I know my ass is dumb, but I ain't no dumbass.
Yeah.
When he's talking to Max, he's like, when he brings him in, and like you said, he's super calculated. He's like, okay, no, I have the gun. Make sure, do you have any gun on you? No, you don't got nothing. Wait, why? How did you know where I was? Why did you come here? He's like, Max, he's like, no, I got the 10,000 for your bond. I'm giving you your money back. I wasn't involved. Like, he doesn't say that he was involved in the heist, right? Because Ordell right away would know something was fishy at that point. I mean, he's still suspecting of this because he saw him with Jackie in the mall. And so he's not. So this is when he kind of gets smarter. And then he plays it pretty smart when he's like you said, if anything goes off, you're dead. Like, I have the power here. I'm going into this situation. Jackie, make sure you're alone, everything like that. It was just, but again, when we show up, I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Like, he could have killed Jackie. Jackie could have killed him. We even see her practicing with the gun, right?
Yeah.
Pointing at the door. Like, I was like, is she just going to pop him as soon as he walks in? I just said, we don't even know the cops are there. It's just,
yeah, no, that's another good twist too. Where it's
everything.
like, oh, the cops were there.
Right.
Like, oh, snap. And it was one of those things where, I mean, he was quick on the trigger, but I guess she did say he has a gun. So you got to be quick on that. And it was in his hand.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was good. And it was one of those things where it's either Ordell has to get arrested or he has to die. Yeah. It couldn't just exist where it's like, he gets
the money or something.
His thing. Or he gets the money. Yeah. There's got to be some kind of conclusion there between those characters in the stories. Not everyone can make it in the end.
And he has the marked, and she worked out the scenario, so he has the marked bills.
Yeah.
It's Jackie. Jackie's a genius. Tarantino's a genius. This movie is awesome.
No, it was great. And that's like, did you have any like final points, facts that you wanted to throw?
I got a few small ones. Just I wrote down a Family Guy moment.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
by
her name, like it's said a few times, but one actually felt pretty Family Guy momenty, and it's I think it's the first time that it's her full name. They say her full name. Actually, it might even be the only time. I don't actually know, but
there's two. Okay, go.
Oh, was there two?
I think there might be two, but it depends if you say the one that I'm thinking.
Well, the one I wrote was Ordell. He says it to Max when he wants to bail her out, right? Because he's like, okay, I have the money for Beaumont. He's dead, so I want to transfer that money over to someone else. He's like, who is it? Jackie Brown. Yeah. So that felt kind of Family Guy moment. It did. Like, they knew what he was doing.
There was another one too when she's the intercom thing when they're like saying who is it, and she gets real close and she says Jackie Brown.
Oh, true.
And it's like a close in of her face. Yeah. That felt very much like a Family Guy kind of moment.
True. Good point. Another thing. The Jackie's answering machine. The voice that says, you have one message, blah, blah, blah. That's Tarantino.
Oh, it is?
Apparently.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
He normally works himself into a little cameo.
Yeah, he does.
I never saw him. He's not like physically in it.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
So he put his voice into it.
Yeah, he always does that though. There's always there's either you hear him or he's in it. But that's interesting. I didn't realize that was his voice. Because again, it didn't. I wasn't listening for you. I mean, it's just like a voice message. You just kind of let it go past you. His voice is unique, but it's not so much like you're hearing like Randy Savage or something, and it's just like, oh, okay, like that's a unique voice,
and
or someone that like
through a
Shaq or something. Exactly, yeah. So then it already gets that little muffled.
Exactly,
bit.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I just had to shout out like Tom Lister Jr. being in there, like Debo from Friday. Mm-hmm. Also, he's in Dark Knight. He's like that classic prisoner that like when they're deciding who pushes the button and he grabs it. So I just want to shout him out because I haven't seen this movie in a bit. I forgot that he was in here. When I saw him, I was like, oh snap, that's Max's guy.
Yep.
That's like his main guy. So that was a little thing. The two things that I saw from the documentary, there's a lot in there, but I didn't want to like go on a tangent here. The things that I thought was crazy is the $500,000 in the movie is actually $500,000. That's real cash.
What?
Yes.
Why?
It's real cash that you see because Tarantino wants everything to be authentic.
Oh my God.
So he actually had $500,000 in the movie.
I get like wanting to be authentic with the ones like when he's counting it or when he's putting a dot on it. Imagine you get $100 bill and there's a green dot on it, and that's the one that was like in the movie.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Hey, everybody,
that would be cool.
let me check all my $100 bills.
Exactly.
But I get those ones you want to be real because like they're close-ups and we're seeing it, but the ones that are just like in a pile at the bottom of a bag, who cares?
I don't
Tarantino
know,
does.
That's exactly. Tarantino cares. Yeah. And there was another thing too, because Tarantino was talking about how much he loved like Pam Grier, and how much like I was such a big fan of her. Like I always wanted to do something with her, and she was actually going to be in Pulp Fiction. Like he wanted her to be in Pulp Fiction, and the role was going to be like the drug dealer's girlfriend. Like I don't know if you remember that. I mean, but he was like, it doesn't really fit. Cause kind of random. Cause she's kind of like, they're kind of like dating and they're kind of like screaming at each other. And he's like, it doesn't really make sense. Pam Grier being in that role. And he was always saying how like he was a big fan of her movies and like that whole era of movies. And part of you just like, oh, you're just talking it up because you're gonna talk up every person that's like in your movie kind of thing.
Sure.
But then there's the proof. You go back and watch Reservoir Dogs, and there's the scene when they're all in the car, and there's like a lot of movies where they're just like talking, like they're just shit talking about stuff, whatever. They're talking about her, like they're talking about those movies and being like, wait, who's the one that's in those movies again? It's like, oh no, it's Pam Grier. Like, oh yeah, I love it when she says free. Like I can't remember exactly. It's like free sugar or something like that. Like whatever catchphrase, and like, oh yeah, she's so badass in the movie. They're literally like talking about her for like 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, there's the proof that he actually, because that movie came out like 5 years before that.
Yeah.
So like he was just shouting her out in like his first movie. She shows out, okay, yeah, that's real. He is a big fan of her.
Actually, what's funny about that is I heard, I read that when she auditioned for Jackie, she there was a bunch of movie posters of her old movies in Tarantino's office, and she asked like, "Did you put those up because you knew I was coming?" And he said, "No, I was actually going to take them down because I knew you were coming. I didn't want to seem too like glazy or but." He just loves Pam Grier, and like you said, it's in Reservoir Dogs. Like the proof is in the pudding; you can't argue it.
Yeah, exactly. And that was in the documentary too. I didn't write that one down, but that is, I thought that was hilarious too when he said that. I was gonna take him down. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm like, how many posters does this man now probably have?
Oh
like,
my god, all of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, does he have walls?
Probably
or just movie posters. Like,
I mean, if it's people that he's a big fan of, I guess.
Yeah, no,
like
for
Pam
sure.
Grier.
Then yeah, exactly. Then you just do it. But that's all I have for.
I got
these little tidbits.
A couple little stragglers left.
Yeah, go.
When Lewis and Melanie hook up, and then there's the flash card is just 3 minutes later. Damn.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
Damn.
I gotta do
Did Lewis a little dirty, man? Come on, bro. 3 minutes.
Hey, it's been a while, bro. 4 years in
4
prison.
4 years in prison. Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's rough, man. that is rough.
And then
What'd you think about that too? Actually, I didn't even ask about it. Did you think that was a possibility? That because they kind of teased that where Melanie was trying to convince them, like, hey, maybe we should go off with the money. Was there a part of it that like this is all for show, like them arguing and like maybe they are gonna like leave together? Is there any part of you at a point?
I guess, but it was very short lived because they get the money and they're walking out, and then she's just rambling on and on in the parking lot. Oh, where'd you park the car? You know, is it in this row? Is it in the next aisle? You don't know. Like another way that Lewis is just a moron. Like, come on, bro. You're planning this $500,000 heist. You don't know where you
and
parked
you don't even
the
know
car.
where you parked. It's crazy.
But
no,
she's going on and on. So like, for like that little stretch, I was like, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be an act at that point. They're out. They're in the parking lot.
That's what I was thinking too. I remember the first time I was watching a part of me was like, oh, maybe this is an act. But like when he picks up the phone to talk to Ordell, it would have made sense if like he picked it up and they kept arguing, because then you got to play it up. Oh, we hate each other.
Yeah.
But he hanged up the phone and they were arguing. So I was like, okay, maybe, because why would they keep no one's seeing this but us.
Yeah, exactly.
But the viewers. So at that point, it'd just be for us. They'd be like, hey, we're gonna fool you because we're gonna argue for you guys. But the way, it's short lived because there's a lot of things where it doesn't make sense. Where it's like, I don't know, why would they be still arguing?
And then
why
she gets popped
in the parking lot. Yeah, exactly.
So that's where it's like, okay, well, no, they're not doing this. But then you're right. But then, like you said, your mind can flip and be like, oh, maybe he was like, okay, yeah, Melanie, we're gonna take the money, both of us. And then he gets it and pops her, and he's like,
Exactly.
no, now it's just me. I don't have to share with anybody. But we even get the moment before they leave where she's taking forever to get ready. And he's banging on the door, like, come on, like we gotta go and get ready. And again, that's not an act. There's nobody else there.
Well, so I mean, that's the phone call thing.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Because he hung up and then ran into it. And I was like, well, there's no need for this argument. No one's leaving there for you guys to play this up. But I mean, I got to shout out like Bridget Fonda too, because she was good at being annoying as
yes.
Melanie.
Oh my
holy
God.
crap,
dude! When
she was annoying.
When he was walking through the parking lot, she's like, "Oh, is it this aisle?" I'm like, "Yo, shut up!" Like,
oh my God, she was great as that.
Oh my God, but like I said, like it's the build up. It's the build up and such a volatile character. We know he's got a gun and he's a convict, and there's $500,000 of illegal money.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? And the build up. I wasn't expecting her to shoot her.
No, me.
I don't know what I was expecting to happen, but I wasn't expecting that.
Definitely
I mean, even Ordell said you could have just hit her.
Yeah, I know. He's like, you couldn't have talked to her. That was his first thing. You couldn't have talked. You couldn't have hit her.
You couldn't have hit her. That was always an option. That's a great option.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Wildness, absolute wildness. But yeah,
I got one more thing. Is Elmore Leonard, who is the author of Rum Punch, which is the book that this is based off of.
Yeah, true. We didn't mention that, but yeah,
it's called Rum Punch. He's had 26 screen adaptations of his work, and he said this is the best one.
Oh, 26. That's crazy.
I know, eh? Was this guy Stephen King?
That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, that is a lot. That is Stephen King numbers. I'm kind of curious to read one of his books now too, because Tarantino and some of the cast were saying how like, oh, I grew up reading his books and stuff like that, but I've never heard of him before.
True. Yeah.
I've never heard of any of his books. I've never heard of Rum Punch, but yeah, now I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with your game.
Not familiar with your game.
I gotta read one of your books, man. I apologize. I mean, they're clearly older books. Like his books were out when we weren't even alive.
Yeah,
but that's not an excuse because Stephen King's books were out before I was alive. And
yeah,
I know of him.
I wonder how many adaptations he's gotten.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah, more than 26,
but 100%. But yeah, no, that's all I got. That's all I got for facts or any other final tidbits. So I think it might be time, Scott.
Let's finish off with the filmies.
Filmies time.
Now, who doesn't love a good old session of the filmies? This is our award show. Welcome to the filmies. We have 6 awards that we're going to pass out to people, parts of the movie. And we're going to start it off with the fit check. So this is the best or worst fit of the movie. Who gets your fit check?
My fit check goes to, I give it to Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Brown.
Okay.
Jackie Brown gets my fit check. And it's for the suit that she was rocking.
Okay.
Like when she puts on the black suit, it was clean. And a lot of people commented that. I mean, obviously the person that wants the per workers tells her that it looks good. That's classic retail.
Yeah.
And but even Melanie's like, she looks good in that suit. And she's just telling it to Lewis too. She didn't need to say it. She just felt like I had to tell her.
She's gassing her girl.
And she comes out. Yeah, she comes out, does a little spin, everything. She's like, yeah, you made for that suit, Jack. She was rocking it. There was a lot of good fits in this, but I don't know. I just feel like I wanted to give it to just because it's also another moment for me to give more praise to Pam Grier because I think she was great in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She wasn't my MVP, so that's also why I want to give her some extra praise here. But no, I thought she was really great in the movie. She was rocking that fit, and she was a good, strong lead for the movie.
100%.
Like, I feel like we talked about how smart her character was and how well written, and then just the performances she gave off on the screen. Like I was talking about, like the panic, and yes, it's the directing of the style of the music and the camera shots, but it still has to give a great performance for it to work. And everything that she did in the movie was believable to me, and the character was I just really enjoyed it. And then the fit, she gets my fit.
Yeah, no, it's good fit. It's good fit, and she was great. You're totally right. She's also not my MVP, so I'll show her a little bit of love here too. Your point of her, like, yes, the filmmaking at the end when she's showing the panic and everything is interesting, like the spin around. But then when it's a close up of her face for like a long time, like she's walking through the store, which is a big department store, and then into the middle of the mall. Like this is a long shot, and it's just her face on the whole screen. So like, yes, the filmmaking is cool, but if her performance isn't good, then it just ruins the whole thing. Because this is we're all looking into her face for this. So like, and she's the lead. She's got a lot to do, and she was great. 100%.
Yeah, no, it can fall flat if you just don't have this person bringing the character to like, because the words on a paper, like you got to bring it to life still, right?
Yeah,
and there's only so much you can do with that. So, and I feel like she brought that character.
I mean,
to
you do
life,
have an all-time director in your ear, kind of giving you like, okay, you know, this
true.
is what she's thinking and what kind of the way she would say it, and obviously, you know, it's a collaborative effort, and she would have helped them make little tweaks and stuff. But I also gave her my fit check.
Okay,
I gave it to Jackie, not the same one though.
Yeah,
I would be remiss if we go through this section, especially because we didn't talk about through the rest of the episode, and just not even mention what Samuel L. Jackson looks like in this movie.
Yeah,
like the
that is
the long ass relaxed wig, the tiny little braided beard thing.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know, it's pretty wild. It is pretty wild. It was gonna get mentioned later, but we can break.
Okay,
but no, he did look crazy. Chris Tucker even gets a shot in on him too when he closes the thing on him, and he's like, "Hey, you almost hit me in my head, you freaking ponytail wearing ass."
Fantastic stuff. But my fit check I gave to Jackie as well. I gave it to her red dress when she goes to Ordell's.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember exactly like what this visit to Ordell's does. It's more just like planning, you know, how they're going to set up this heist or whatever. But then she goes to dinner. It's when she goes to dinner right after with Ray, the cop.
Oh, yeah.
That dress. So like she comes, she's just looking fresh. She's got a nice red dress.
No,
it's also the hair. Her hair she's got like the poofy hair going.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Looks fly. I liked it.
No, that's good. That's a good fit. My other fit outside of that was going to be Jackie again. So Jackie got to pull off a lot of dope fits in here. Even like her lazy fits, like when she was doing like the overalls with the white tee, like everything was just flawless. Even if it was like a bummy fit, it was just like, we're gonna have you look. Even the way she styled her, like her work fit was dope too. It was like with the scarf and everything. Like Tarantino knew, like that's his girl. He's like, I'm gonna have her look. She's not gonna be looking bummy, even when she's popping out of jail. Because that worked for Max.
Yeah, that's right.
Everything's working for Max.
Yeah, everything's working for Max. I mean, you're right. He talked her up in Reservoir Dogs. You can't have her in the movie and have her look bad.
No, exactly.
Give her some juice.
That's what I'm saying. That's a great fit, though. I like that.
Next up, we got our Ferris Bueller Award. This is our lazy award. So something that someone did that we consider lazy. Who gets your Ferris Bueller?
This one's pretty simple. I just gave it to Lewis.
Okay.
Just for popping Melanie in the parking lot. Okay. It's just kind of glaring lazy to me, of just like, you're in broad daylight. He didn't want to even think of another alternative. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna pop this girl, like Ordell says, he couldn't hit her, couldn't talk to her. Like those are much like you took the quickest and fastest route, which was not the smartest route. And it didn't necessarily, the cops weren't on your trail from it, or like anybody in the parking lot. We could talk. I was
literally just about to say, like, all the deaths in this movie. Like he shoots Beaumont, nothing. He shoots Lewis and just walks out of the car and walks away, nothing.
At least with him shooting Lewis, at least they kind of drove off to like a side kind of thing. The gunshot would be pretty loud.
Yeah,
and then he kind of left and just walked off, but. The middle of the parking lot's kind of wild.
That's pretty wild. That's very wild.
In broad daylight.
The biggest indoor mall in the world or something. Isn't that what they said in the movie? Like there's
like
nobody
that.
There? No way.
Everyone's inside.
Everyone's looking at Jackie's nice fit. She's got a crazy ass suit on.
But I gave it to Lewis for that.
I like it.
That was my fair.
Because you're right. It's like it's pure laziness. There was so many other options that like could have been would have been more work, but he's like, I could just pull this trigger twice and solve this problem,
and that's it.
And that's lazy.
Exactly.
So what about you? I went much more niche. I gave it to
I like that.
I gave it to the clothing store employee.
Okay.
And it's for not ringing up Jackie's suit after she told her. So Jackie comes out of the thing, like you said, she does a spin around. She's like, "Oh, you look great." She's got to say that, whatever. She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna take it. I don't want to put on my stewardess outfit. I'm gonna keep this on. I'm gonna wear it out, and I'm actually in a little bit of a rush. So can you ring it up for me?" Then she goes back into the change room, does the swap with the money and everything, comes back, and the girl has to punch in the freaking number. She's like, "How much does it cost?" And she spends like 12 seconds or whatever punching in the thing. $217. She told you she's in a rush.
Yeah, I know.
Ring
And no
up.
one else was there.
She said, ring it up. I'm in a rush. Help your girl out. And she did not do it. And that's laziness.
That's great because no one else was there.
Nobody.
It's not like she was worried. She was with another customer and sorry, I had to help this person.
Right.
So I had to really take out the to clear the register. Like I don't know how it worked back then. I'm just imagining when I worked in retail. It's like, oh, I can't hold this.
Yeah.
I got to clear it out to do this with person's purchase. But like there was no one else there.
Nope.
She was just twiddling her thumbs and she's like, oh, I guess I got to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, you want to pay for the suit that you just told me you're going to wear out and you're in a rush for? Okay, now let me punch this into the register. She told you to ring it up. Ring it up. Lazy.
No, that's good. That's good. I don't even think that's that niche too, because that's a pretty big part of the movie. I thought you were about to go like someone like deep in like in the crew for the movie or something like that.
Yeah, I saw.
I was like, oh snap!
Whoever hung up that picture frame in Max's office, was crooked, lazy.
That's what I was gonna say, but no, that's great. That's well deserved.
Thank you.
She was. I almost felt a little bit like she was giving a little attitude of just like, oh, I gotta work.
She was. Even when Max pulls up, he's like, oh, my wife told me she left a bag in there. Honest, that could be lazy too. Jackie comes out like, by the way, someone left a bag in there. She's like, all right.
And she never went.
Yeah,
I know.
Double
it's
lazy.
Like you're not doing anything. It's not like I gotta fold shirts, I gotta put up this merchandise. All right, cool. And then just proceeds to stand there. You weren't on a phone call or anything. Was she on a phone call?
No,
Nothing. Like part of me was thinking he actually was on a phone call by the time Max came, but I don't know, man. Just go get the bag.
Fuck it. Let's just you're being paid. Stop being lazy.
Oh my god.
Ring up Jackie's suit and go get the bag.
That's great. I like that. I like that, Ferris. That's good, Ferris.
All right. Next, we got our Peyton Pritchard Award. This is our sixth man. So this is someone with a smaller role in the movie that did the most with that small opportunity. Who's your sixth man?
So I went a little off the board. I don't know if maybe you have done this before. I'm just forgetting, but I certainly have never done this.
Okay.
And I'm giving it to the Delphonics.
You're giving it to
for the Delphonics.
Who is that?
For Didn't I? It's the song.
Oh,
it's the song. The Delphonics is the name of the group, and Didn't I is the song. And it's Jackie and Max's song.
Okay.
Like I feel like it did a lot for the it was this bonding thing that actually connected the characters. He was like, oh, what is that? It's pretty. And he's like, it's the Delphonics. He's like, okay, cool, it's the Delphonics. And he goes out and he gets it and he plays it himself. Yeah. And it's like this connecting thing of like, that's our song. He's playing, he's thinking about Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like it's just it's like a character. It's a six man, it's a little element that's playing. It's like nothing has to be said. He has to be like, oh man, I miss Jackie. He's gonna look at a picture of her. Him playing the song is letting you know that like, oh yeah, he's thinking about her. So it's like that little connective tissue. So I wanted to give the Delphonics. They're six man for that because that song had some weight in the movie.
That is incredible stuff. I love that pick. Thank you. I actually remember I did do this once. Not for the same, not for like a song that was. I guess it was important to the movie. It was for I Am Legend. I gave it to Bob Marley.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember
I do remember that.
Will Smith, he's always singing Three Little Birds and stuff like that. Is just one making good music, and he references him multiple. Yeah, he references him a bunch in the movie, so that's why I gave it to Bob Marley. But I love that you did it here. That's fantastic.
And then even Ordell pointed out too, like when he's driving them, like at the end when he's taking him, he's like, "You listen to the Delphonics?" It's like I didn't know Max was hip.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, I mean, Max pulled up stone face to the crib with a gun to his head, and he didn't flinch.
That's true.
Not a bead of sweat. He's just like,
hard, man.
I'm here because I mean, to be fair, he's a bail bondsman. He deals with like drug dealers and all this stuff all the time. But like, I don't know.
But I didn't realize it was like that until there was that. That's another thing we didn't talk about too. That part where he's sitting with Jackie and he kind of explains his job. She's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were doing all of that." Like he has like the taser and all that stuff. He sounds like a bounty hunter more than a bondsman. Like that sounds like a bounty hunter is looking out to get people to get a reward. He's just trying to get people to pay back their thing. I didn't know it was all like I thought he'd get the cops involved.
That's why
he's doing it himself.
That's why he's got Tiny Lister with him, man. Well, that's
true.
Crazy that his job. He's like, no, I find people. Max is the muscle.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Tiny Lister, he's the big black dude, but he's just finding people. Max is actually the muscle. Tough.
No, it is tough, but that was my sixth. I'm curious to hear who you gave here.
I gave mine to Chris Tucker.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like this is just the perfect little spot for him in this movie. You're right that having a big actor in this part and killing him right away is kind of like a flip that you don't see coming. I also think he physically looked and portrayed exactly what I pictured as Ordell's like snaky employee who got caught and would tell on him, right? Because he gets the phone call. He's like, "Oh, this is Beaumont. Oh, you need me to bail you out? Yeah, I got you." Like, remember, he's playing nice to him and stuff like that. But like, we know that he was in jail and got caught. So obviously, again, he's an idiot and he's just not doing things right. And he comes out of jail and he's like, "Oh man, I didn't want to go out tonight. I'm smoking and I'm home and I'm just chilling." I'm like, this is so Chris Tucker. This is absolute perfection. Like, I'm sure Tarantino wrote this.
Watched Friday after watching Friday.
And wrote this specifically for him after having casted him. Is just it's a perfect little spot for him.
No, it's great. No, I'm not mad at that. Like, part of me was like, I was thinking about giving Beaumont. That was close, but I was just feeling the Delphonics thing. But that's a great 6, man, because like I'm never gonna be upset about just giving love to Chris Tucker. He's absolutely great.
Yeah. Okay, next we got our favorite quote. What was your best quote?
My favorite quote goes to Max, and we talked about it earlier. It's like, I bet you look the same as your 20s. Bigger. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with
Not
that.
a damn thing wrong with that. Smooth fucking Max.
No, I had to give it to him for that. Like, I didn't want to bypass it when we were talking within the movie. I'm like, I gotta mention this, but like, I gotta give some more love to it because
that's okay.
Like I said, I paused the movie. It cracked me. I completely forgot he said that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always it's dumb. Like, when we're talking about it, you're not just gonna be like, yeah,
exactly.
And then wait till the Filmmies. Like, you come to the Filmmies, like, yeah, that thing that we talked about, yeah, that was the best.
Exactly. I couldn't hide my excitement because it's gotta be so hype. You start going into it, I'm like, yeah, we're talking about it. It goes to Max. Nothing else to be explained.
No complaints from me, of course, because I'm the one that brought it up earlier on. Because
exactly. What about
fantastic?
What about you though?
Actually, we talked about mine too. I gave it to Ordell, and it's when he's talking to Lewis about Beaumont. And he says, and that, my friend, is a clear-cut case of him or me. And you best believe it ain't going to be me.
That's a good line.
I was like,
I like that.
One, it's hard. Two, I'm like, this is exactly telling us who Ordell is. The guy is selfish. He's like, no, this is, if it's him or me, like, it's not going to be me. It's just not an option. Like, it's just not going to happen. 100%. So I like that line.
No, that's a great line. I mean, there's a lot of quotables from
a lot of great ones
from Ordell. So that's definitely a great one. I'm on
my runner up was my ass may be dumb, but I ain't no dumbass.
It's
incredible stuff.
Too.
Incredible
that's
stuff.
A great one.
All right, next we got our best scene. What was your best scene?
All right, well, my best scene was Ordell and Beaumont. We talked about that scene in nauseum too, and it's just like a lot of stuff we were saying too. I was saying how it's the lawyer, like convincing with the lawyer stuff and just the back and forth. Like, I felt like it was really good of building up of all the reasons why, like, okay, it's not a quick, like, I'm going to go see this guy pop it. Let's milk it a little bit. Like, don't worry, I'm going to get you a lawyer. Don't worry, I need you to do me a favor. Then there's the whole trunk thing. And then it's even the buildup. I didn't mention it before too. I kind of saved this too. It's the buildup of like him even putting on his gloves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, we're spending our time with this too. It's just like, it's a build, and then the pop. And it's like, oh, snap. Like, there's a little part of you that's thinking like, oh, is he going to kill him? Is that going to happen later? I wasn't sure. And then the turnaround, I was like, oh, is he really going to pop Chris Tucker like that? So I just remember that was the scene that really stuck with me. And a scene that, like, from this being a rewatch, when I think back to this movie, it's that and the Melanie popping. And though I just wanted to give some love to Chris Tucker. You already gave him some love with your 6 man, so I didn't feel like and I figured you were going to talk about him too. I didn't think we were just going to bypass that, but I just love that scene. It was great to me. And another thing we mentioned too is that it added stakes to the movie.
Yep.
People can die.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, not everyone's safe.
I think too something that's, I mean, I love the end of the scene too. Like I said, like the long take of the crane shot where he gets into the car, drives off around the corner, and then the crane comes up above the fence so we can see him turn into this field or whatever it is. And another thing that I think is interesting about this is again, the way that like, okay, this makes sense. When he's convincing him to get into the trunk, right? And he's like, no, don't, we'll go get some food after this. One, he's been in prison, right? So that's actually like means something. And two, he's like, I'm not just going to go into this trunk. Like, this is a bad sign. But then he gives him a gun. He's right. No, when we come out of the trunk, you pop it out. Like, don't shoot, but I just want you to pop out. So like, one, that gives Beaumont the confidence to be like, okay, I guess I can go in this trunk because at least I have some way of protecting myself. You know, when shit starts popping off, I have a gun. Like if I'm here with no gun, like I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But at least I have this. So like that gives him a little bit more reason to be like accepting and go into the trunk. And also the fact that he says, when I open the trunk, don't shoot right away, because he knows that in a minute from now, he's going to open the trunk and he doesn't want him to shoot him.
Exactly. No, 100%.
So good. So
yeah, it is good. There's that hilarious line he says too, where it's just like it almost felt like an ad lib. I don't know how much Tarantino's letting people ad lib, but if you're gonna let someone ad lib, it'd be Chris Tucker and Samuel L. Jackson when they're going back and forth. But it's just like their art, because the reason it feels like an ad lib because he kind of talks over him a little bit. But again, that could have been in the script where they're just going back and forth. And he's like, "You're gonna have this gun." He's like, man, you catch someone off guard with that kind of thing, man. Like, because he's like worried about like, you want me just to stand with this? Like, I'm gonna come out with this, and they might just shoot me because they think something's about to pop off. So it's just like him just be like, man, you catch someone off guard with something like this, and then they just keep arguing, and I'm just like, that's just like a nice little just throwaway line in there. It just killed me.
But it just, you're right. Like this movie has a lot of humor. I mean, all Tarantino movies do.
Yeah, all Tarantino movies. Yeah, he always says those movies are black comedies.
Yeah,
which I always thought was like a funny. Yeah, I always thought that was like an interesting like, because I would, when I heard black comedy, I thought people were saying like a black like skin tone black comedy, but a black comedy is its own type of comedy, which I didn't realize.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean, he also has a lot of black people in his movies.
That is also true.
So that helps.
That does help.
My favorite scene was Ordell going to Jackie's place to kill her. So we talked about this as well. I think, again, you don't know what's going to happen. You talked about him like turning off the light. She turns it on. He turns it back off. The split screen where we see the reveal that she got the gun, I thought was awesome. I think it was cool too, because at the start of the scene, Ordell has the power. Again, we see him at the start of this, cuts out his car. He's putting on the gloves. Same thing that he just did with Beaumont. So we're like, okay, he's here to kill her.
Yeah.
So he's menacing in this moment, as well as he just killed Beaumont. So like, we know he will do it. You know what I mean? Like you said, the stakes are up. And then the reveal that Jackie has the gun, and now she has the power in the scene. So like that flip, and it also tells us that she's really smart. So like, not just in the scene, but for the movie as a whole, for her character moving forward, we're like, oh no, she foresaw this.
Yeah.
And made this calculated decision when there was a gun in front of her to take it, so that this would happen, because she saw this coming. So like, it sets that up for her moving forward in the movie, and in the scene itself is a great flip. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really like that. And like, I even said it was kind of like a horror movie, which is like, obviously I'm the horror movie guy. So like, I like the element where it's like, added this element of like fear, because especially because it's like turning off the light. I'm like, oh, what's going to happen to Jackie? And it's like, and to this point, Jackie kind of just seems like, not like a damsel in distress or anything, but like kind of like this character that you're not really sure like how tough she is, like what she can handle. So, and that's a great word you use, because that's a similar point I had, is about that change in power, like the power flip, where it's like, oh, Jackie's got the power, and it's not just in this moment. Like she's kind of always had the power, and she has this within her. Like this this wasn't just a moment of just like, oh my gosh, like don't like stand back, or there's no shaking or anything. She was just like, in that moment, you realize like, not only was she planned for this, like she's cool in this moment. Like this isn't new to her. She's held a gun before. You know what I mean? So I really like that. I agree. It's a really great scene.
Yeah, that is a good point. I didn't even think about that specifically, like the way how cool she was. Like, yeah, you can make that decision of like, okay, I think Ordell might try and come kill me. Here's a gun. I'm gonna take it. But when the moment actually comes, are you cool under that pressure? And she totally was. Yeah. And to me, it's a flip too, because before this, we never saw her doing it. We never saw her like be that damsel in distress. Like we said, when the cops pick her up, she's not like freaking out or anything, but she's also not like, I don't know, doesn't play like a lawyer card and like weasel her way out of it and be like, no, you actually can't take me because blah 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 blah. You know, like she still goes with the cops and everything, but she still shows like you said, she asked for ID and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, she's smart, she's cool, and then she does this, and we're like, oh no, she's like, she's in this.
Yeah,
yeah,
she's in it. It's a great scene.
All right, finally we got our MVP. Who's your MVP?
So my MVP went to Samuel L. Jackson. So Ordell. It's always a weird when we do those because it's like the actor, the character. You know what I mean? How much? But I think I give it to Samuel. Samuel. His name always throws me off because Samuel L.
I know. I don't know why he even does that. Like, why not just Samuel
the L
Jackson?
in there?
Yeah,
why
is the L in there?
I don't know why the L is in there, but I give it to him just because he just brings so much life to this character. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious. He brings so much juice into the lines, and I wrote down a couple of them.
Nice.
like the first one that got me was just when he's sitting there with Lewis in there, and he's talking about, like, they market it as the most popular gun with American crime, and they're proud of that. Like,
that's amazing.
That is amazing. I was just dying at that. There's obviously the gun point at the dick thing. And then the scene between him and Lewis was absolutely hilarious. Them just going back and forth, and he's talking about, like, actually, no, but even before that, when Jackie was like, oh, the cops know about you, whatever it is. And he was like, wait, you told them about me? She's like, they already know about you. He's like, but you didn't have to confirm it.
Yeah.
It's just his delivery on those. And then again, back with him and Lewis, and he's talking about, Lewis is like, oh, did you kill her? And he's like, yeah, like I might have, like, I think so. Like, I think so.
Yeah.
That is not an answer. That's, he's like, yeah, I might have. I might, like, Lewis, what are you talking about? Like, you killed her, you didn't. Like, what are you like?
And then as soon as he kills Lewis, he's like, what happened to you, man?
Yeah, he used to be beautiful.
He used to be beautiful. Incredible stuff.
Oh my goodness, man. He was killing me. And then the last line too. There's so many. I had to grade so many of them. But when Max comes to his door and just bang, 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 he immediately pulls up like, yo, why are you knocking at the door like you're a police officer? He's like, I thought you might have been asleep. Like, you about to be asleep forever.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
What a character, what a performance, what a look. Like the physical, like we're talking about, he's just like the fact that he can look himself in the mirror and then seriously like act is insane.
He said he came up with that idea for that hair.
I know.
It's just why. No, but what about you though? Who is your MVP?
My MVP is Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Had
my first point is plays Ordell to perfection. Perfection,
yeah, really
dude.
does.
He's front and center of the movie. Like we talk about, like Jackie's leading this movie as well, but Ordell's like he might even be in this movie more.
Yeah, no, that's true.
If we like look at the screen time, he really might be in this movie more, and it's such an amazing character. He's just the right amount of being stupid and smart. Like his character is that he's very dumb and very smart, but he also plays it super well too. Like De Niro's like full dumb, like he's playing a full idiot, and Jackie's playing like a full smart person, and he, like towing that line and having moments where Ordell's an idiot and having moments where he's smart and coming back and forth from that, and even doing the same in the same moments, like when he's with Beaumont. Like you said, his back and forth when they're just talking shit to each other. I'm like, man, you can mess somebody up with that. Oh, come on, we'll just go get some chicken waffles after this. Like he's kind of like being an idiot too, but he's also being smart the way he's like conniving and like convincing him to get into this trunk so that he can kill him. Like it's the perfect blend. He plays him so amazing, and the character's so well written. Like that character is just fantastic. You're right. He brings so much juice to it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's interesting combo too, because me and Eloise were talking about this, where I was saying it's like usually when you see like these dynamics, it's like it's De Niro and Scorsese, you know what I mean? It's Leo and Scorsese. It's what's it called? It's Denzel and Spike Lee, and it's usually same race, but like Samuel Jackson and Quentin Tarantino, that's a duo. Like
they just get each other,
about
man.
That. They just get each other. And even when he can't have him in the movie, like in Inglourious Basterds, just have him do a voiceover.
Yep.
Like he's got to get his guy in the movie, man. Like that's his guy.
100%.
And it's funny because people don't really say that's his guy, but that's 100% his guy.
Absolutely, that's his guy. How is it? Can't he's in every single movie? Is he not?
I think he missed a couple. He's not in. He's not in Kill Bill. I don't think.
Right. He's not. I don't think he's in Reservoir Dogs either.
And he's not in Death Proof. So like, but he's still in a majority of them. He's in it more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And if he's on his last 10th movie, there's something happened between the two of them. Otherwise, there's no way he's not going to be in his final film.
He's got to be
in some way. In some way, he's going to be.
I still hate that final film. Why?
Yeah, I know. You're putting too much juice on it. Honestly.
Yeah.
We're talking about expectations earlier. Putting way too much juice on it.
Exactly.
Like just drop it and be like, yeah, that was my final film, and then do it like that. You're doing the Kobe tour,
the retirement tour. Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing the retirement tour. You don't need to do it.
Farewell tour. That's what they say.
Yeah, farewell tour. Yeah, but hey,
also not only that. Why stop making movies after this? You are making amazing movies. Don't deprive us of that.
Clint Eastwood is 90, still making movies.
Yeah, Scorsese's still making movies. That guy has like
that's what I'm saying.
85 movies.
Ridley Scott just made Gladiator 2. Like,
come on, man.
Yeah,
why Quentin?
I don't know.
He'll make I think
he'll keep writing. He's gonna keep writing. He said he wants to do TV. He's gonna keep writing and do TV. I don't know.
Well, he is writing that thing that Fincher's directing, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, right?
Yeah, he wrote it. Like the whole script is him. He just doesn't want to direct. He's letting someone else direct it, which is interesting. I don't know how it's gonna.
Honestly, actually, now that I think about that, that doesn't bother me too much.
No.
Well, his direction is great.
Yeah,
but his writing is.
Yeah,
just
that's what really.
Tier. It's just like
I just wonder what it'd be like.
There are other great directors. I'm not saying there are other great writers too, but like
no,
I don't know. I feel like if he can appropriately like communicate his vision and have someone, like David Fincher's a great director, right? He's even going to come and bring little tweaks to it that might even work out better if he's just writing. I don't know. We'll see.
No, it's true. It's just their styles are just so different.
Yeah. True.
Like Fincher likes stuff dark. Yeah. He likes to get dark. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's not that dark, unless it's a darker script, and that's why he went with him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get dark, but I don't know. And Fincher's my guy. So it's just a weird mix. But hey, we'll see. I'm optimistic.
We'll see.
It's gonna be a Netflix movie, I think. So,
this
is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see.
But yeah, certified MVPs.
That's always nice.
It had to be that way. Yeah,
I know.
I think it had to be that way.
I mean, the only one that you could give it to is like Tarantino,
Quentin?
I guess.
Yeah,
and Pam Grier, like we talked about, she was great.
Yeah,
great
she was great
but
too.
like Samuel, like Ordell is just
bodies.
Is just wiping everybody else off the screen for this whole movie. It's insane performance.
He just absolutely bodies it. But I think that's it for the Filmmies.
Yep.
If you want to be part of the conversation, you can follow us on social media at the Film Room Pod, Apple and Spotify at the Film Room Podcast. And if you want to support the show, you can leave us a rating. It helps us in the rankings, and it makes it easier for people just to join the family. Be part of this film family.
That's right.
If you do write a written review, serious, it could be funny, it could be weird, we'll read it on the show. We've read not even just like reviews, but also just comments and stuff like that. Any kind of feedback, social media like replies in the stores, we'll read it. Like we always like love hearing from the people. How many stars, Scott? I always forget how many stars they should do if they do
500,000.
500,000.
500,000 and or 550,000 was actually the.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, just for everything else to work.
5 stars.
Mm.
So. Yeah, just 5 stars. Just give us 5 stars. Come on.
Just 5 stars is perfect.
Come on.
Do you have any final thoughts before we say goodbye? Or
no, underrated movie. Go watch this movie.
Yeah, it is underrated.
I mean, I'm sure if you've listened to this point, you've already seen the movie, but tell your friends to watch this movie. This movie's great.
That's what you need to do. Tell your friends to watch this movie.
And then 100%. Listen to the Film Room Podcast episode on it.
Exactly. Yeah, tell them to watch the movie and then be like, also listen to the Film Room Podcast afterwards.
There you go.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
I do want to just give us some, as we're talking about, I just want to give some extra shout out love to the listeners and stuff, like from the both of us. Like, if you've been listening to the show, we appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Again, like we always talked about, like, we're not experts, and there's a lot of classics that we haven't seen, and maybe you haven't seen too, and we're all just gonna experience them together.
That's right.
We're going on this journey. We're becoming, I don't know if we'll ever become experts, but we're just building our resume within being cinephiles, and we're not judgy here. If you haven't seen a lot of classics, hey, we haven't seen a lot of classics too. We're all building together. This is a family. Join the family. Come along on the ride. Let's watch these classics together.
Yep.
But with that being said, I want you to remember I don't even remember how it goes. I gave my heart and soul to you. Didn't I do it, baby?
Ooh.
Didn't I do it, baby?
Ooh.
Shout out that Delphonics.
Hey.
And peace out.